Hello everyone and welcome back once again. This is the Casting Hydralist VP Nursky coming to you guys with another awesome, exciting gamecast. Today we're going to have two awesome players from the team FXOpen and a game that I actually got from a QXC replay pack. So thanks to QXC for that. And speaking of QXC, spawning as the Purple Terran, we're going to have none other than FXOpen's QXC. QXC has been doing very kind of mediocre-ish in the tournament scene lately. Hasn't been having the best results. I'm sure not the results he'd like to be having. But was an extremely strong player in the beta. Very strong at release. Pretty sure was even up near the top of the ladder for a while at the early stages of the game. He's tapered off since then, but could be making a comeback. We'll have to see what he ends up doing. Known for his very crazy styles of gameplay. Likes his 1-1-1 openings. Loves drops. Loves some early tech and harassment type of stuff. So we'll have to see what QXC is going to be doing in this game. And his opponent over here, his teammate of FXOpen, is going to be none other than the Blue Zerg of FXOpen's Sheth. Sheth being absolutely a beast in the Starcraft 2 scene as of late. Was kind of a quiet player in the early stages of Starcraft 2. Didn't really win a lot of tournaments or anything early on. Was just kind of quietly hanging out in the scene, but as of late has been an absolute beast of streaming. 4-0 in the NASL tournament. That is the North American Star League, for those of you who don't know. Very good tournament. Awesome thing to check out. So Sheth has just been absolutely awesome lately, so going to be looking for great things from Sheth. This is going to be on the map Metalopolis. They are spawning in the good old close air positions, so could lend well towards QXC's playstyle. When you see that first barracks going down, actually did get his gas before the first barracks, so expecting a very fast factory from QXC. I would suspect, or maybe some kind of extremely fast factory into Starport. We'll have to see what QXC does. Meanwhile, Sheth is going to be going for the old 15 hatch, 15 pool. I do like that play. Pretty standard against Terran players. Gives you a good economic equalization, if anything, compared to when the timing of the Terran orbital command comes up. He's going to be getting that on 16. So these will sync up to where QXC will probably get his orbital up right about when Sheth's expansion comes up, so that'll work out really well for Sheth. Get a couple of drones mining on those minerals so he can keep up with the Terran's mineral income. Does have an extractor going down, so he's going to be teching up. Probably be getting ling speed or something of that nature relatively quickly in the game. Do have that fast factory now coming for QXC, so QXC is going to be going for that fast factory. And actually with this reactor, I would expect something like some fast Hellions. This might be the fastest possible Hellion build, where basically you end up getting a quick refinery, then a barracks, then you get a really fast factory with a reactor on it and bust out some Hellions to try and do some harassment in the early stages of the game. Sheth, though, with some pretty good vision of the map right now. If we actually do look at his vision, he's got pretty good vision for the early stages of the game. QXC is going to be scouting in here with this scouting SCV. Going to see what he can see and then try and get out of these before these Zerglings pick this SCV off. Run, little SCV, run! I do not think you are long for this world SCV. The Zerglings are a bit quicker than this SCV. Will they manage to catch it? It's getting so close. It's getting so close. We're going to zoom in. Oh, he's going to go behind there. And, oh, poor SCV. He is dead. We also have a starport on the way for QXC and a tech lab building on this barracks here. So maybe actually even be going for some kind of a fast Banshee build or something like that behind this reactored Hellion harass that he is indeed going to be going for. Here comes those Hellions. But we actually have Sheth with a very fast Roach Warren. Sheth with 6 roaches on the way, so Sheth's spidey senses must have been tingling as he did get extremely fast Roach Warren. Maybe he just realized that QXC likes to do this a lot. Dropping on the Creep Tumor. Oh, Creep Tumor's going to get picked off. That actually not very good for Sheth. Going to have to waste some more energy on another Creep Tumor. Doing a very good job of holding off these Hellions at this point in the game, though. Not going to be getting much done with these roaches now out for Sheth. Sheth with some extra roaches at this point in the game. 5 roaches. Looks like those roaches are actually just going to bypass the Hellions of QXC and head straight for the base. Yes, they are. Does have a couple more roaches up at the front, 1 to be exact, with the queens. More than enough defense against these Hellions if he properly positions them. So we do have Sheth moving forward with these roaches. The question is, will he actually be able to get anything done? First Banshee is on the way. Does pop out now for QXC, so QXC is going to be able to intercept these roaches with this Banshee. The question is, will these roaches actually be able to do any damage? Roaches doing a little bit of a detour there. Now finally attacking in. Kind of a little bit mismanaged, though, because we actually do have Sheth over here having to micro against these Hellions. So QXC actually timing this very well, popping in with those Hellions. forcing Sheth to kind of devote his focus over there. Sheth now getting a handle on these roaches, finally starting to focus down this kind of soft wall of QXC with the supply depots. Supply depot taking a lot of damage actually, but this Banshee should actually clean this up. But the question is he actually going to lose this supply depot? Supply depot's getting extremely weak. This roach is going to die, but the supply depot on fire. QXC really need to go repair that, but it looks like QXC's actually busy microing against these lings. Does manage to fry a few lings over here. Going to try and fry this queen. Probably not going to be too successful at doing that, but he is going to weaken it just a little bit. Do have more Banshees on the way for QXC. First Banshees have not even actually left his base yet, though. They're just kind of hanging out. There goes the Banshees. Do have the lair on the way for Sheth, so Sheth will be able to get up something to deal with the Banshees of QXC. And is actually going to get supply blocked. That supply depot did actually go down, so QXC never repaired it quite in time. Here comes those Hellions. Here comes the Banshees. So we do have QXC going to try and get some more harassment done with these Banshees and these Hellions. And Sheth actually not with quite enough queens to deal with this. Going to get a queen picked off rather quickly. So that softening up by the Hellions actually is going to pay off. These two queens not going to actually be able to deal with these Banshees. Going to be forced to try and retreat with that queen. Doesn't want to lose it. Does have another queen on the way. It is almost done. Those two Banshees now going to town, starting to pick off drones of FXOSheth. That lair has finished up though, so he's going to start an Overseer right away. Doesn't want to have to deal with Cloak. Here comes those queens poking away at those Banshees. One Banshee actually extremely low. QXC is going to need to get that one Banshee out of there. Second Banshee could probably turn around and try and do some damage, but those queens actually do have quite a bit of health. A little bit of mismanagement with the Banshees by QXC is going to take a little bit of needless damage there. Do have an SCV for it here. Actually is repairing up these Hellions. A very smart move by QXC. Here comes that Roach. Oh, actually manages to pick off one of the Hellions. Here comes the Lings. They want to try and get some fun for themselves as well. I mean, microing back and forth. Do have another Banshee entering the fray for QXC. You see back at the base of QXC some more barracks, even another command center. So finally it's going to be expanding behind all this pressure. A little bit delayed, I'd say, though. These Hellions actually kind of being mismanaged. I was kind of wasting these Hellions right now. These Hellions aren't going to be long for this world like this. And there goes one Hellion remains. Hellion gets picked off. Does manage to get one more queen. But actually not too much of a cost-effective push there by QXC. Kind of wasting those Hellions a little bit. Sheth poking forward a little bit with those roaches. Going to use them to draw the fire of the Banshee and then poke away with the queen. Banshee's not too low. Does have two Banshees still up here that do need some heavy repair. That Banshee's going to be poking back and forth with this queen. Banshee will beat the queen one-on-one. Sheth, where is your extra queens? Hanging out the base. Poor queen is going to go down just because her buddy didn't want to help her, but QXC mismanaging that Banshee just a little bit and does indeed lose it. If we look at the income tab really quick, we do see Sheth still at the lead, 40 to 30 harvesters. So Sheth, through all this harassment, doing very well against it. Do have now in the base of QXC, four barracks is going up. Does still have that tech lab on the starport. Now even adding yet another barracks. Is going to be going up to 5 barracks. So heavy bio style play of QXC, which is pretty typical. Finally expanding now. Maybe would have liked to see that a little bit sooner. Marauders getting produced now, so going to be going for a Marauder Marine style. Sheth very smartly actually pooping some on the tech lab there of QXC. Is going to be delaying Stim for a little while. We do have QXC actually moving back into Sheth's natural with these Banshees. Going to see if he can get some more damage. Does pick off one queen. Loses one Banshee. Might be able to get a second queen. Nope, not going to be able to get a second queen. That third of Sheth going up, even despite all this harassment. QXC is going to see if he can take that down with that lone Banshee. Hero Banshee trying to take that down. We do now have in the base of Sheth. Baneling Nest on the way for Sheth. Is getting the +1 melee upgrade, so maybe going for a little bit more of a Ling Baneling Roach transition. Let's see what he actually ends up doing. A couple of Lings hanging out around the edge of QXC's base. Lings are going to move in. They're actually going to attack the SCV line. QXC's actually not paying attention. Sheth's Zergling's going to pick off, looks like 5 or 6 SCVs, and then QXC finally turns around and shoots these Lings out, but I actually lost a bunch of SCVs right there. 30 to 53 harvesters. QXC getting way behind in the macro game right here right now. Spire on the way for Sheth as well, so it looks like he's going to be slowly transitioning to the Ling Baneling Muta style play. Very standard style play against Terran. Did manage to save this hatchery. Did take a lot of damage, but did manage to save it. These two Banshees finally heading home. A lot of damage on both these Banshees. They are going to get out of there, though. Meanwhile, QXC kind of gearing up. Might be actually pushing out here. That Overseer poking around. Does see what QXC is up to. Looks like Sheth is finally going to lose this Overlord to the forces of QXC. Overseer, excuse me. Yep, doesn't manage to poke it down. Good micro by QXC. QXC always known for his very good micro. And QXC being forced to drop a ton of mules at his natural here. To keep up, as he did lose a bunch of SCVs. Those hurt Banshees finally starting to return home for QXC. And now we have the Lings countering in once again. QXC actually moving pretty quickly. Might lose this one SCV. We'll have to see. Those hurt Banshees finally returning. And sadly for Sheth, Lings have no defense against the Banshees of QXC. So they are going to easily be able to clean this up. Forces now moving forward for QXC. Baneling speed almost complete for Sheth. Even has +1 air upgrade. That +1 melee upgrade almost complete. And now he is going to be moving in here. Here comes the Roaches forward. Mars do very good against Roaches, but here comes a Baneling counter. Baneling's actually catching QXC from the side, coming in and flanking his forces and cleaning that up. That actually did not end up too well for QXC. Didn't do hardly any damage to Sheth at all. Lost a ton of forces. Does manage to get that medevac away though. We now have QXC actually switching over to a tank composition. Does have the first tank out, second tank on the way. Siege mode on the way as well. First two mutas finally on the way now for Sheth. That +1 air weapons upgrade about halfway done. Baneling speed has completed. Not getting any other upgrades for his ground forces just yet. Does have that third up and running, even getting a macro hatchery. I do like that. When you do go Baneling muta, it's extremely hard to spend your minerals, because you even see Sheth floating about 1,500 minerals right now. Wouldn't even mind seeing him take a rather fast fourth base. Or at least getting some good amount of drones up. Do have a couple of Roaches poking forward for Sheth though in the meantime. Not much they are going to actually be able to get done. Roaches just kind of sharking around the map, want to see what they can see. They're going to see that QXC has not taken a third base yet, but he is gearing up to. Is starting a command center now. Those Banshees going back on the prowl for QXC. Going to see if he can get anything done with those. Do finally now have +2 melee, +1 air attacks, just about finished up for Sheth. These two Banshees moving forward, going to see if they can maybe pick off this Queen. I know Sheth does have a couple of mutas. Yes, here comes those mutas of Sheth. Are going to attack these two Banshees. Should be able to pick them off rather easily unless QXC tries to get them out of there. Just going to see how many drones he can kill. The hero Banshee does go down. I had like something like 20-something kills before it finally died. 7 kills. Maybe 8 kills on that Banshee as it does finally get taken out by the forces of Sheth. Sheth even getting a second macro hatchery. I do like this move. Does have a ton of minerals, even taking a rather fast fourth. So 2 macro hatcheries, a fourth for the forces of Sheth. Do have those Roaches hanging out, so he will know when QXC does decide to expand once again. Very good map vision for Sheth. Now we do actually have Sheth moving out with those Mutalisks. Does have about 10 Mutalisks here. See the exact count? Yes, does have exactly 10, 11, 12 mutas now. Going to be moving into the base of QXC. QXC moving forward a little bit though with some Marines. Is going to pick off a couple of Lings of Sheth. Sheth does turn around temporarily. A couple of Roaches and Lings going to be moving forward into the natural of QXC. Might be able to pick off one SCV. Nope, not going to actually be able to pick that off. Those tanks easily hit that and take it out. A couple of Roaches hanging out here, so we will see that QXC is expanding to his third. Those Roaches are going to die fairly quickly though. Roaches go down. But we do have Sheth now actually finally moving out with these mutas. These mutas looking to maybe do some counter pressure on QXC. QXC's forces were forced to retreat back to defend that third base. Sheth saw that. It's going to take his opportunity. Going to bypass the supply depot. It's going to go for this turret in the main of QXC. Easily should be able to take that out. Going to probably get a couple of SCVs too. Now poke at the supply depots. Is he going to knock the supply depots down? Yes, he is going to try and kill some of these supply depots off. Is going to get one supply depot. Might even get a second supply depot. We'll have to wait and see. Supply depot on fire probably is going to go down. Not repairing it is QXC. And now going into the natural of QXC. QXC really needs to defend this. QXC now actually getting supply block. He's going to be trying to defend this turret, but actually Sheth is just killing the SCVs right now. Turret just barely hanging on. Will the turret hang on? Turret up, down, up, down. Will the turret die? Turret does die. Sheth is now going to be able to attack these SCVs. Is forcing QXC to stop mine, but QXC actually just going for a counterpunch. It's going to be sieging up on the edge of the creep of FXOSheth. Going to fire into the forces of Sheth. Sheth's just going to basically move forward. It looks like one of those forces might have actually just been pulled by the tanks. Going to lose those Mutalisks pretty quickly. Is going to need to retreat though. Too many Marines of QXC in the area. Really needs to get those Overlords out of there. Luckily for Sheth, he actually has built almost too many Overlords and is not going to get supply blocked by this, but in a not a very good position. Marines running forward, tanks sieging up. Those mutas back in the base of QXC, actually still doing damage to QXC. QXC is almost supply blocked, just barely has enough supply. QXC's third base is up. QXC is going to be moving forward. Here comes some Lings, Roaches, and Banelings. Here comes a couple more mutas. Those mutas are going to die almost instantly though. I'm not even sure why he's building them. More Lings getting produced for Sheth. Here comes some more mutas. Muta's going to get instantly eradicated by those Marines. Some more roaches, more lings on the way for the forces of Sheth. Sheth not in a very good position right here. These Marines and these 2 tanks just doing so much damage to Sheth right now. These Overlords probably going to even get picked off as well. Not really focus firing down very much. That is QXC though, and this layer is actually staying up. Here comes the drones even now for Sheth. Here comes some more lings, some queens, 1 Mutalisk, and they're actually looking like they are going to actually be able to clean up this force of QXC. Medevacs are going to escape though once again of QXC. So Sheth actually not in a very good position now. Just lost his layer. He's going to need to start a new layer if he wants to get any more tech past what he already has. Still does have 2 mining bases, however. Did lose the mining from his main base, his natural base, though. Kind of just leaving these drones hanging out. Doesn't need to send them back to mining. Is finally going to send them back to mining. Is going to replant that hatchery. QXC looking fairly strong now. Does have that 3rd up with that planetary fortress. A lot of tanks, a lot of Marines on the way, rebuilding those forces rather quickly, keeping his money extremely low. I do like that from QXC. Now Sheth getting very bold upon that attack, taking the gold base and his 5th base at the same time, so taking his 5th and 6th bases at the same time. Sheth being very bold. Here comes yet another push from QXC. About the same strength as the previous push. 3 medevacs, bunch of Marines, 2 tanks, and just be pushing forward. A little bit weaker. The previous push had a couple more tanks than this one. Gonna maybe shark around the map, see what he can see. Is gonna easily build a nice gold expansion if he sees it. Yes, there goes a couple of Marines stemming forward to take out this expansion of FXOSheth. So Sheth is gonna be forced to cancel this or lose the minerals. There he goes. Does actually manage to cancel in time. But here comes the forces of Sheth. Sheth's gonna try and counter attack this force. Bunch of lings, bunch of mutas. Banley's actually getting some good hits on the Marines, and Sheth is gonna be able to easily clean up this force. Might even be able to take out these medevacs if he gets on them quickly. Does manage to take out 1. Marine's gonna delay them maybe just long enough for QXC to get this very weakened medevac wave, but no, that medevac is going to go down. 1 Muta's going to be chasing this last medevac of QXC. Will it actually get it? No, it's not going to get it, but Sheth will get that Mutalisk out of there. So Sheth with some extremely strong play still. That economic backbone is just paying off, but then we do have a drop at the 4th of Sheth. Couple of Marines, couple of Marauders. Sheth not actually noticing this drop right away. Are probably going to be able to pick out the 4th base of Sheth. Sheth is actually rebuilding the gold base as well at the same time. 1 Roach, Hero Roach, is going to try and pick out the forces of QXC. QXC is going to be dropping his 3rd, though. Sheth really need to get some forces over there. Mutalisk on the way with a Roach. Here comes another Roach. Should be able to actually stave off this force with a couple of Roaches and these Mutas. Is going to lose a lot of Harvesters, though, in this exchange. Here comes a whole bunch more Mutas for Sheth. Sheth's just producing almost nothing but Mutalisk at this point in the game. Ton of Mutas out for Sheth. We look and do see he has about 16, almost 21 Mutalisks already. Then we do have QXC actually expand to the gold. QXC feeling a little bold, maybe feeling like he's a little bit ahead. If we do look at the income tab, we do see that he has almost caught up with Sheth in Harvester. 70-40 is just 71 of QXC, but QXC does have those mules, so that will pay off for him quite nicely. Bunch of Mutas coming in are going to try and attack these forces of QXC. Marines are easily going to be able to shove those Mutalisks away, though. Sheth's going to be poking around these Mutas, seeing what he can get done. Marines being forced to stem, maybe even overstimming just a little bit. Sheth's just going to move into the 3rd and into the natural of QXC, but QXC is ready for this. He does have some Marines just hanging out here, so probably not a lot is going to be able to get done for Sheth. We do have the weapon attacks level 3 on the way. His Marines are 2-2. Even Thor on the way as well. Here comes the Thors. This is going to be very useful for QXC against the heavy Mutalisk composition of Sheth. Do have QXC even moving out with a small hit force now. Maybe wants to try and get at the forces of Sheth and deny this gold. We do have a drop. Yes, he is going to easily be able to deny his gold base. Gold base does go down. Here comes the forces of Sheth, though, but a little too late. Might actually be able to pick off that medevac to punish QXC a little bit, but does lose that base, and that is the important part. Thor is up now. Sheth's going to have to be very careful not to clump up his Mutas. Clumps up his Mutas, though, loses a bunch of Mutalisks to the Thor of QXC. His ground forces are 1-1 for his mechanical units. Bunch of Lings trying to move forward for Sheth. Maybe going to try and go for some kind of a counterattack play. Not exactly sure where they're going to go. Looks like they're going to actually scout out the 4th and 5th bases, natural bases of QXC, to make sure he has not taken those just yet. A couple of drones hanging out here at the gold for Sheth. 4th base going up once again for Sheth. QXC just doing an extreme amount of damage. Is not actually looking that good for Sheth. Sheth with a ton of Mutalisks, though. Pretty good upgrades on those Mutalisks. They do have 2 attack. No additional ground upgrades at this time, though. Is just 2-2 currently. Is finally getting a new layer up. Had taken him a while to get a new layer up, but is finally going to be replacing his layer so that he could potentially go to Hive Tech eventually. Very delayed Hive Tech is it going to be, though. And we do have another drop of QXC. All the mutas coming in should easily actually be able to clean up this drop. He does have enough mutas at this point to clean this drop up, but taking a lot of damage are those mutalists. Does manage to clean it up. Just barely saves the fourth, does FXOSheth. Even trying to retake this gold base. I'm not sure how well it's going to work out. A single tank or two over here does make it extremely hard to actually mine from that base. +1 air carapace actually going down now. And we do have a drop in the main of Sheth. Probably not going to do a whole lot of damage, though. Yes, easily gets cleaned up by Sheth. Wanted to try and knock down that Spire of Sheth. Only gets about halfway. We do have QXC now finally moving out with a huge force of units. Wants to make sure that Sheth does not get up any more bases. QXC playing this game very well. +3 armor for his infantry. +2 attack for his mechanized units on the way. QXC playing a very strong game. Siege is up on the low ground. Going to easily be able to deny the gold expansion of Sheth. Sheth not actually going to be using it, though. Instead is going to be just focusing on this fourth base, getting up a couple of spine crawlers. Mutas making sure he can actually get that up. Sheth not in the greatest of positions right now. QXC is actually in an extremely strong position. Sheth might be looking to get something done with these mutas. Both players almost maxed out at this point in time. Even getting the turret high-sec auto-tracking upgrade that allows turrets to be just a little bit more effective against these air units of Sheth. Sheth's going to be moving in to try and counter the third of QXC. Should be able to actually deny it temporarily, but QXC doesn't care. A couple of forces moving forward for QXC. Oh, the mutas bunching up with Sheth. Sheth needs to be very careful. That Thor can do a ton of damage, losing a ton of mutas. Is going to be Sheth. Sheth's going to attack in us anyway, so trying to magic box. Is going to try and take out the store, but we do have QXC moving forward. Tanks are sieged up, hammering away at the fourth mining base of Sheth. Sheth cannot really afford to lose this base. Is mining from this, but not very many minerals left at his third base. QXC in a very strong position right now. Is going to take that base down. Does accidentally kill a whole bunch of his marines, though. A couple of drones going to be moving forward to try and mine from the new fifth of Sheth. Those marines going to be moving forward, going to easily pick off this egg that was forming a mutalist. Oh, a little bit mismanaging of the drones. These drones are going to move forward, going to easily be picked off by these two hero marines. Look at the kills on the marines, 0 and 0. But we do have these other marines moving forward. There is a couple of spine crawlers, which might actually delay this attack a little bit, but definitely not going to stop it in any way, shape, or form. Not sure what Sheth's plan is here. He does have a lot of lings, a lot of mutas. Going to attack into the forces of QXC, but the mutas bunching up on the Thor. I'm not sure this is the greatest idea. Could actually end up losing a lot of mutalisks to this Thor. No marines, though, to defend these tanks. And these tanks are actually getting obliterated by the forces of Sheth. QXC with the huge lead and actually squandering right now. Needs to get some marines back down there to defend against these mutalisks. And here comes a ton of banelings of Sheth. A ton of forces now. Reinforcements moving out for QXC. But might be a little too late as he did lose a ton of tanks to the forces of Sheth. Sheth easily cleans up the rest of those marines. Sheth is extremely far behind. 119 to the 152 supply of QXC. QXC looking nar unbeatable right now at this point. Tons of tanks for QXC. Tanks galore, just a spattering of marines in this composition, sieging up all those tanks. Just enough marines to try and hold off the forces of Sheth. Sheth still does not even have Hive Tech, just now finally getting up Infestors, so Sheth's very slow attacking might actually be hurting him here in this game. QXC is just going to siege up once again in this little choke and hold off this position. Going to stim some marines forward once again to try and take out this base of Sheth. Sheth cannot afford to lose this base. This is his only mining base at this point in time. Another queen comes up, but not very much mining going on for Sheth right now. Sheth is extremely starved for minerals and gas right now. Looking extremely bad for Sheth. A couple of lings moving forward. Sheth is running out of steam at this point. He does have a rather sizable force of banelings, a couple of infestors and mutas, but this is really all Sheth has and all Sheth can build, as he is having this base destroyed by QXC. QXC with a ton of tanks, a ton of marines just sieged up, preventing Sheth from taking any more bases. Sheth in a very awkward position, but it's going to be moving forward. We'll get one tank. Here comes those marines, going to shoot off those mutalisks. Mutalisks are going to be forced to retreat for now. Not exactly sure how Sheth comes back from this. Sheth looking in an absolutely terrible position at this point in the game. Just got his tech up just a little bit too slow. Trying to add as many units as humanly possible, but Sheth's sitting on 159 minerals. Can't even actually build any more hatcheries. Poor drones just hanging out. Can't even actually mine anything. Sheth in an absolutely terrible position. Here goes this mutas. Just going to instantly die to these marines. Only 3 mutas remain. Does have a bunch of banelings and a couple of infestors left, but I'm not sure what Sheth's plans for this. Sitting on 9 minerals now. Sheth is going to have to clean up this whole forest. Oh, one of the infestors go down. Absolutely marvelous scan by QXC. Pretty much, this game is looking pretty academic. 82 supply to 185 supply. QXC is even going to be taking a 5th base now while all this is going on. Just pretty much waiting for the GG by Sheth at this point in the game. QXC is going to be moving forward with these Marines. Not much that Sheth can do. Is going to attack with try and counterattack with those Banelings. They instantly died though. And Sheth is going to be forced to GG out. Absolute excellent play by QXC. Takes this game off Sheth. Sheth maybe just got a little bit behind in his teching, to be totally honest. Stayed on layer tech an extremely long time. Probably could have used a little bit faster hive tech. Brood Lords basically are the answer to tanks. And just going to get them up. Then QXC did that nice little push. Managed to actually kill the layer over here at the natural of Sheth, which put Sheth even further behind. And Sheth didn't really recover from that point in time. QXC just kind of did that one push, did some damage, took out the natural of Sheth, and from there it kind of just went downhill slowly for Sheth to the point where QXC finally did come up victorious. So congrats to QXC. This is going to be the Casting Hydralist VP Nursky saying goodbye for now, guys. I will